welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
Hello and welcome again to another new segment of Venezuela Insider. Today is November 17th, well, depending on who you are. And a lot to talk about since the past edition, just hours ago. And first, we have to, and everything basically mostly coming from Washington. First, let's start with Marco Rubio that gave a statement just after we record the last the last segment, yesterday's segment. Then basically he gave an ultimatum to Maduro's government. He said that he is on the process, basically, on determining that Cartel of the Suns, or Cartel de los Soles in Spanish, as you want to call it, that allegedly they are a drug cartel made by Maduro's people, including Maduro himself. They will be declared a foreign terrorist organization, an FTO. That will put basically Maduro and his people on the same level that Al Qaeda, ISIS, you name it, basically every major terrorist organization in the world. Previously, just like 3 or 4 months ago, this thing has been developing very quickly. The Treasury Department, the U.S. Treasury Department, designated the Cartel of the Suns as SDGT, a specially designated global terrorist that is mostly, since it's from the U.S. Treasury Department, is in order to impose financial sanctions, even more sanctions that the Venezuelan government already has. But this is a complete ballgame because the State Department, the designation from the State Department, not only goes to financial means of a particular group, but goes against actually the individuals that are included on such group. So, and according to a statement from Marco Rubio himself and the State Department, is that they will be designated officially by November 24th. This is just 1 week in the future. And if you read between the lines, is basically an ultimatum to Maduro to basically make their move. That should be, I don't know, leaving power or something. I honestly don't know what Trump wants because already Maduro offered a bunch of other things. And Trump says no, including basically all of the oil reserves and kicking Russia and China from Venezuela. So we don't know what else, so we can just speculate. But the most obvious answer is Maduro and all of his people, away from power in Venezuela. Trump himself, yesterday on Magalago, was asked about the talks, the potential talks with Maduro, and Trump said, yeah, they want to talk, the other side, and we are gonna, talk. Let's see if we can figure something out. Now, that was yesterday on the evening, but today we have way more statements from Trump and actually very concrete. Trump has been very, inconsistent and very vague with his words regarding Venezuela, especially with Maduro. On his actions has been very, very, very straightforward. Now, today, Trump was asked yet again on the White House by reporters about Maduro. And the first question was, there is anything that he, Maduro, could do in order to stay and have with the good grace of you, President Trump. And Trump says that Maduro has done tremendous damage to our country, the drugs, he sent a bunch of drugs, according to Trump, and released a lot of criminals, dangerous criminals. A follow-up question is that if Trump, regarding allegedly, he already made his decision on what is going to do about Venezuela. And the reporter asked if boots on the ground is out of the question regarding the decision that he already made about Venezuela. Trump said, I'm not ruling anything, including boots on the ground, basically sending, the military inside Venezuela, not only striking Venezuela, putting, the military, the Marines, and whatever, military lives, U.S. military lives inside Venezuela. So that hasn't been ruled out by Trump. He said, this is probably the most important, I have to take care the situation about Venezuela. So he needs to see a conclusion with this. This is according to Trump himself. According to the reasons alleged by Trump is that Maduro dumped hundreds of thousands of people from Venezuela. A lot of them went from prisons. Maduro released the prisons, according to Trump. We have discussed this. Yeah, I'm not fully convinced on that, but yeah, let's follow. Also, next to him was Chrissy Noem, the DHS and Homeland Security secretary and part-time cosplayer, and they were speaking about Tren de Aragua. And according to Noem, they are worse than the MS-13, the gang from El Salvador that actually Bukele wiped them out. And lastly, he said something very important that I love the people of Venezuela. And according to the recent videos that we published, that Venezuelans, more than half of Venezuelans love Trump back. What else? In other news, a lot of statements of the opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, that's saying that this thing is, nothing is stopping this train. Basically, that's what she's saying. And Maduro also trying to call for peace and made a religious gathering, something like that. And he also sang Imagine by John Lennon, and apparently that backfired. So no more, old school covers. That would be my best suggestion as a consultant to President Maduro. So that will be all. Thank you again for your attention on this matter, and we'll see each other on the next video.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again and have a nice day.